and they died. But the one who eats this bread will live forever. The Gospel of the Lord.
Please be seated. Imagine, if you will, that we are on a house tour. Perhaps you have been on one before, maybe even here in Shadyside. But this neighborhood, I assure you, is a bit different, perhaps rarefied, but appropriate for all. And this house, it is said of the house we shall visit that it is more than a dwelling, that it seems as old as time itself, having been built over generations. This is no ordinary home. Every stone, every piece of wood, the very floorboards on which we walk and the ceiling beams above, the wiring and the pipes, none of it is new. And yet, everything about this place is up to the moment. As we approach this home, its grand and formidable, yet not imposing facade is framed by 7 pillars, solid and sure. This proud but modest home is actually quite approachable, reassuring us with the thought and effort and learning that went into its construction. This is no ordinary house. This is no ordinary house tour. After all, this is the house that wisdom built. We spoke of wisdom just a few moments ago in our reading from Proverbs and Psalms. Indeed, we read this morning, wisdom has built her house. She has set up its 7 pillars. And it is those pillars that we saw as we approached. These 7 pillars represent the 7 foundational principles upon which wisdom stands. As we approach the entryway, a warm glow spills out through the windows, casting a welcoming aura that beckons us come closer. The door swings open, and the rich aroma of homemade foods, perhaps freshly baked bread or a simmering stew, greets us. As we read, "Come, eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed." The woman of the house invites us in. All this she has prepared for us, food and drink, wisdom that is ours for the sharing, as inexhaustible as it is timeless. Come, eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. Our hostess generously offers us to continue. Let all those who are hungry come and eat. Let all those who thirst for justice and righteousness and truth drink their fill, so that all who share sustenance from this place shall be known as the wise. As these rich sights and aromas envelop us, they draw us in not just with well-intended words, but with a warm embrace, a sense of acceptance, of being seen, of belonging, of returning home. It is somehow as if the house itself is welcoming us in. This is no ordinary house tour, and this is no ordinary home. This is none other than the house of wisdom. Jewish tradition has long taught that wisdom is far more than intellectual achievement or human cleverness, or even the better of 2 options. Wisdom, rather, is a divine gift, a reflection of God's will and insight revealed for all humanity. According to Jewish tradition, wisdom serves as the foundation for all moral and ethical decision-making, guiding our paths, shaping our communities, and leading us toward righteous living and a greater, more proximate relationship with the divine. In ancient times, wisdom was respected as a divinely provided force, deeply intertwined with the very fabric of creation. It was believed that wisdom emanated directly from God, embodying the principles that sustain the universe. As such, wisdom held a unique authority, not only for individual and ordinary people, but guided kings and prophets in their decisions and actions. In this, wisdom was understood as a perfect and complete gift from God, and according to Jewish tradition, in fact, wisdom was present even before the creation of the world and may indeed have served as the divine blueprint for the universe. Over time, this abstract concept of wisdom began to take on a more tangible form in Jewish tradition. Wisdom came to be personified as a woman, and this personification allowed the faithful to engage with wisdom in a more relatable and accessible way. Wisdom, so it is, beckons us to come into her home, to eat from her table, and to drink her best spirits. As a nurturer, wisdom became not only a source of knowledge, but also a reassuring, sustaining, and stabilizing force in our lives. This idea is echoed in still another verse we shared this morning. Come, my children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. For elsewhere in Proverbs we learn that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Where do you and I find wisdom today, and what do we consider its source? Is wisdom, in fact, a divine gift revealed to us in full form from above, captured perfectly in the pages of our sacred scriptures? Or is wisdom molded and shaped by the hands and experiences of countless individuals over generations and centuries, if not millennia? And how does such wisdom, once honed and polished by time, become so deeply ingrained in our tradition and cultural fabric that we come to ascribe it to God, personify it as essentially Mother Earth, and trust in it above all else as a guide for living with morals and purpose? Evolutionary anthropology suggests that human intelligence has evolved and developed as sophisticatedly as it has through social learning and mutual cooperation. Our ability to share knowledge and learn from one another's experiences has been one of the most decisive factors in human beings' success in building communities, in improving human existence, and indeed has been key to our very survival. And the insights and practices that have served us best have been distilled over generations into what we now call wisdom. Indeed, this is where the contemporary concept of the wisdom of crowds becomes so powerful. After all, wisdom as we know it is not only found perfectly distilled in sacred texts purportedly handed down from above, but we understand wisdom to be forged in the crucible of human experience, our interactions with one another in the world, shaped by the diverse voices and experiences of the entire human family over time. As these collective insights have been refined, they became part of the broader tapestry, the stories and traditions we inherit and pass on. Over ages, as wisdom became time-worn and familiar, its origins became obscured, allowing us to see it as if these wise teachings have always been with us, as if they were gifted to us before even the beginning of time, and are themselves, therefore, timeless. But let us move out of our heads and move back into our hearts, returning to the hearth and to our house tour. As we return to the home in which we now find ourselves, our hostess calls out, "Whoever of you loves life and desires to see many days, keep your tongue from evil speech and your lips from deceit. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue peace." Who among us can hear such polished prose and not marvel at its essential truth? Who can listen to our hostess and fail to embrace her warm words and wise counsel? Wisdom certainly is God's gift to us, revealed through the actions and decisions and collective experiences of countless individuals. With this partnered understanding, wisdom takes on an ever more timeless quality, and its luscious patina grows, such that we may see within wisdom and within ourselves a reflection of the divine made real in our lives. As we linger, staying a bit longer in this house of wisdom, breathing in its savory scents, drinking in its lustrous sights, eating at her table and drinking in her words like wine, we think of the knowledge and understanding that are available to all to be shared with those who hunger for truth and thirst for righteousness and justice. Wisdom herself invites us to stay as long as we wish in her house, to sit and to study and to savor, to eat and to enjoy, to let the food and drink fill not just our bodies, but allowing them to nourish our spirits and souls. As we prepare to bring our house tour to an end, we recall another verse we shared. "Leave your simple ways, and you will live. you will come to walk in the light of insight. Even as our day's house tour has come now to its conclusion, so in another way has our tour of wisdom only just begun. For as we find ourselves back at the entrance of this home, we approach it now with a new and wider perspective, a deeper understanding that this place is not just a place to visit. Rather is wisdom a house wherein we are invited to dwell, to stay and grow in wisdom. Its doors are ever open, welcoming all who seek to learn, to understand, and to improve themselves and the world entire. Wisdom home is a communal space where knowledge is nurtured generously, learning is shared liberally, and for our collective efforts, our depth of understanding is conservatively multiplied many times over. And so as we conclude our tour of Wisdom's house this morning, may we go forth with a sense of purpose and clarity. Wisdom's house, after all, is not just a place to behold. Rather, it is a place to behave and believe and belong. A sacred space where our paths are illuminated and our actions are molded by the divine made manifest in our lives and that of all of humanity. Amen.